Hi, everybody, and welcome to the DRF Breeding Report. Dan Illman here with Nicole Russo. This week's breeding report, as well as all of the yearling sales coverage throughout the season on DRF.com, presented by Stonestreet. We're going to recap a very successful Fasig Tipton Saratoga Yearling sale. Let's throw up some notable statistics. Nicole, this shows an extremely healthy market.
Yeah, the sale finished with across-the-board double-digit gains. The gross was up 16%, average up 16%, median price up 26% to actually what is a record median for the sale. The gross and average that we just cited were the second highest numbers in this sale's history. Perhaps the most important number is the buyback rate finished at an improved 20%, which is stellar for the market at this level. Really, a select sale like this. We've seen a market since the recovery from the recession that has developed into a very selective, very polarized market. A buyback rate of 20% or less is just stellar for a sale at this level. Checked in at 20% over the 2 days of selling cumulatively Monday and Tuesday here in Saratoga.
A very healthy sale paced by two seven-figure colts. Let's take a look at this Curlin colt in the ring. This is out of River's Prayer, who was a really strong Grade 1 winner. This horse really looked the part, a big, strong chestnut who went for $1 million.
Yeah, we're starting to see Curlin finally get some more commercial popularity. As we've cited so often, he's produced a classic winner or classic placed runner from each of his of age so far. He's got Champion Stellar Wind on the track right now. This colt out of a Grade 1 winner sprinting, so adds perhaps a little bit of speed, a little bit of precocity to that pedigree. Purchased by Eric Fine, who's known for running really tough racehorses such as Musket Man and others in partnership. This is a really nice colt, actually bred by our sponsor Stonestreet Farm, consigned as agent for them by Denali, which is continuing a run of consigning seven-figure horses at this auction. I believe they've handled one now in 3 consecutive years. Really nice Curlin colt sold on the opening night of the sale.
The other $1 million purchase, number 186, by the exciting young Kentucky Derby winner Orb, and we're going to take a look at him in the ring right now. He sold for $1 million. This damn flashy American. She was a strong, tough dirt router, and this is her first foal.
Yeah, flashy American, really tough. I like that word. You hit the nail on the head. Race mare. Orb, of course, you're looking at him as possibly a classic type stallion down the road. This one sold to Carrie Radcliffe Bloodstock for a partnership that purchases some horses internationally, but Radcliffe indicated that this one will remain in the United States, possibly going to trainer Bob Baffer. And this is the sort of horse you look at down the road, and you think that he's going to be one of these very good two-turn route type horses.
A $310,000 weanling selling for $1 million at Fasig Tipton Saratoga. Let's talk a little bit more about Orb. His foals have been very well received from the beginning. His first 2-year-olds, of course, running this year, and they're starting to run on both surfaces, dirt and turf. Let's take a look at Orb winning the Kentucky Derby. This was his signature victory over a wet track, but he's been an exciting young stallion prospect thus far.
Yeah, he is. He's up to 4 winners now. As you mentioned, they're running on both surfaces. And the returns that we're seeing at these auctions indicate that the bloodstock community really thinks he's something special. He had a 7-figure 2-year-old sold earlier this year at OBS March for $1.25 million before any of his progeny had even raced. He now has a $1 million yearling from his second crop, which doesn't really happen. Usually the second crop books of mares stallions get are not as exciting as their first book, and the market wants to wait for a horse to prove himself out a little bit on the track before going to that level for him. If you're going to put Orb up against, let's compare these figures to Uncle Mo, who of course now we know is a young phenom. Uncle Mo has not yet had a $1 million yearling, even though he's got a couple crops of racing age on the track now. And he did not have a 7-figure 2-year-old until early 2016, when at that point Nyquist had already run a championship season and Uncle Mo had already been the leading freshman sire. So you turn that around, to put that in context, you look at Orb, and he's getting these out of this world numbers when he's not even very proven as a stallion yet, it really indicates that people think that these horses are going to run on, be something special. And the faith that they're putting in him commercially so early is it just doesn't happen. It's really kind of, you want to sit up and take note of Orb seeing these numbers.
Some of the Orbs from his first crop have shown surprising speed, as you've mentioned. They have won on turf. We expect them to be classic types, and this Orb out of Flashy American certainly looks like a very interesting one to follow. You can follow Nicole on Twitter at DRF Russo. You can follow all of DRF's breeding news on Twitter at DRF Breeding. For Nicole Russo, I'm Dan Illman. We'll see you next week on the DRF Breeding Report.